Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? Well, I went to set up the stream and what has happened so many times previous, it crashed. So at 9 o'clock, I was restarting everything. Do I feel nervous about that situation? No, not really. I do feel nervous about I have to change all this. I'm sorry if it makes noise. I apologize, but I mean, it was like I had this all set up the way I wanted to. Let's go here like this. Okay. All right. Had to get that in order. How are you this morning? It is Wednesday, May 4th, 2022. I'm John Schenk, your host for the Deerwood Realty live stream, and I'm nervous about seeing if something works out, and it did. It did. Anyway, well, who is John Schenk? You might be a little bit curious about that. Well, I am a real estate broker. I'm a real estate agent, and I founded Deerwood Realty in St. Louis, Missouri. Oh gosh, 2014, 2015. It's been a long time now, and we help buyers buy homes and help sellers list theirs. There's a lot of real estate agents. There's a lot of real estate brokers out there. There's a lot of, brokerages, but I just, you're here with me this morning, and I really appreciate it. Where else can you get a Deerwood Realty live stream but Deerwood Realty? The show today is going to be fascinating. We're going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to bring up the list because I don't want to forget. We're going to talk about a Google Trends search that was quite fascinating. We're going to talk about the mortgage rates. We're going to talk about, is there a housing bubble? Does it matter? How would we know? What are the worst parts of buying a house? There's all kinds of things we're going to talk about today. And I should probably just get right into it, but I won't, because that's not what I do. No, I will sit here and talk about stuff beforehand and just wing it, and it never works very well, but this is how I seem to get into the flow of the show, oddly enough. I don't really understand it myself. Why wouldn't I be able to just start the show and just get right into it? Why wouldn't the words just flow? But they don't. So let's talk about a few things that happened to me, and I'm pretty excited about it. Let me check first of all, is my microphone good? It is. Let's start out. So let's start off with I don't know how to even explain it. Yesterday, as you know, I like to look at Google search trends, and I like to look at the trends because I'm fascinated by what's on there. And yesterday's topic that was trending number 2 in the United States, okay, was what I guess some people would consider, negative. I didn't see it that way. I thought it was legitimate news that could be interpreted any number of ways, which we did in the show. And I'm not upset about that. But what did happen was as soon as I got done, I posted some clips from the show on my social media pages, and unfortunately, some of them weren't very happy about the posts. One of them now has a warning on it from Google. I got an email from Google asking me if I was okay, if they needed to call the authorities. So that was not good at all. But if you saw the show yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. And am I sorry about it? No, but this is the second time now in, I'd say, 6 months that I took a legitimate news story and just talked about it, just discussed the details, and YouTube didn't like it. And so I wanted to go over what those feelings were when YouTube doesn't like something. Okay. Like, I already don't get that many subscribers. I don't get that many views. Okay. I don't think I'm being throttled by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, it's like the last thing I need is to get YouTube mad at me. Like, you don't want to be on YouTube's bad side. Tomorrow, if they wanted to, they could put my video in front of 2 billion people. I mean, that's how powerful YouTube is, and they don't. I mean, I have my my suspicions as to why I don't get out in the broader space. But again, so I don't want to piss off YouTube. That's not the goal. And so when they sent me that email, I mean, I was like, oh, like I didn't want to cause an issue. Especially like if it's in the field of discourse, because Google search put it there, then I should be able to talk about it. Is that a reasonable belief? I don't know. I just know that that's what happened. I didn't even say anything I didn't think that was really off-putting, as far as I think that it was just the subject matter. But it was what everyone was talking about in the United States yesterday. I don't think like I stepped out of line. And so with that being said, would I apologize for that? Probably not. I don't feel like there was an apology. It didn't warrant an apology. I mean, the 4 people that watch my stream, I mean, they're going to be okay whether or not I did it or not, I think. So anyway, my point is, hey, I don't like to get in trouble any more than anybody else does. And when I got slapped with that warning and then the email worried about my health, I was like, oh my God, I might have done something wrong here. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. It was a fascinating thing. And I just saw, okay, I don't care. I got an email and I was just checking it. So what should I say? I want to be on YouTube. I want to live stream. I want people in my chat. Obviously there's nobody in my chat, but I'm interested. And, I don't want to get thrown off the platform for doing something like that I thought was pretty innocent relative to what I've seen on YouTube in the past. That was the other thing. It's like, I mean, I can understand. I have no problem with some censorship. A lot of people are like free speech, and I don't. I think that that's such a how do I say it? I mean, I think determining the line of free speech is important. Does that make sense? There are things that I don't want to see, and I don't think that I don't really think they're free speech issues myself. But sometimes I think it's a little heavy-handed, and I think I understand the idea behind some of it, but I also think that there's a punitive nature to some of it as well. And so that being said, I just wanted to do something kind of fun. I'm going to say hi in the chat. I just did. All right. Okay, so we got through that. Let's move on. I got a new buyer. Got a new buyer last night. They were like, "Hey, how you doing?" Actually, it's a friend from like 10 years ago. They live in a different state, and they're like, I really like St. Louis, and we're going to go ahead and buy a house just so we have something when we move back. And so I was like, okay, happy to do it. So they're looking for, it's very interesting when you talk to people that kind of have a good idea what they're doing. They've had to move a lot for work, so they're not confused by moving. And so a couple of things. One, they said exactly where they wanted to live by zip code. Like, this is where we want to live. They said exactly what they want to buy. They want to buy a 2-bedroom, and they said exactly how much they want to pay. So that was in the email, and I literally put together a search, texted them back, and said, here you go. Let's get to this. Now, how's it going to work with somebody out of state? Well, in this market, it's probably not going to go too well. Here's a couple reasons why. One, they offered to fly in to see a house when it's on the market. Unfortunately, houses sell within a weekend. It's really not a chance to do something like that right now. We're probably going to have to, stream it. We're probably going to have to, be on iMessenger or something, or FaceTime, go through the house. I don't like to do that. But I think that having known them for so long and knowing kind of what they accept and what they don't accept. I mean, I've been to their house. I know what they like. I'm not going to have an issue with being honest with them and saying, I don't think this house is the one. I think this house might be a good idea. Stuff like that. I think it's going to be good. What I would say that's kind of interesting is just because they gave me the location, they gave me the criteria, it might change over time. They may see some things and they're like, this is too small. This is not what I was thinking. And that's okay. That's okay. We'll figure it out. But you have to start somewhere, and just the initial reaching out is fantastic. Now, one of the things that the new buyer did that made me happy was he subscribed to my Instagram account. And all of you, if you ever want to make me really, really happy, subscribe to my live streams, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to or follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I love that stuff. I know it sounds wild. Why should I care about if somebody follows me? I don't know. It means a lot. And for all you businesses out there, like small businesses who manage their own accounts, how great does it feel when someone you work with follows your account? Or when somebody wants something from you, let's say a salesperson calls you and they follow your account first, or they follow your account after they meet you. I don't know. It feels good. It feels good. I've had that happen a few times, and it's just like, yeah, nice. It doesn't cost you anything. You say, well, my personal Facebook account would be filled with a feed of stuff I don't like. Well, just don't use your personal Facebook account. Just make up one for your business or something like that, and then go follow the people. People appreciate that stuff. It's weird. It doesn't cost you anything. Like for me, like if you subscribe to my stream, you have no idea how happy that makes me. I do this every day for the most part, except for Sundays now. Sundays I've taken off. I've decided that that's just too much. And for you to subscribe to the channel, it just is like, thank you. I appreciate that. So I think we're going to be good with the buyer. They said we're not in a big hurry, but we just wanted to get the ball rolling. So I said, okay, here we go. Let's get the ball rolling. And when someone hits, it's everything in the business is a game of tennis. To me, if someone hits, and like, let's just say, so they called me, that was them hitting the ball over the net, me responding with the information that they were looking for, and setting up a search was me hitting the ball back into their court. This is how I play almost every single thing I have. If an agent wants a piece of paperwork signed, happy to do it. Okay, they just pushed it over the net, and then I push it back, and then we just go from there. It seems to work fine. It's a paper shuffle, it's a communication shuffle, but that's the way we do it, and I'm good with that. So that's where I'm at. I hope you're in good spirits. I hope things are going well for you. I had a cancellation yesterday. I was going to show a house at 3. Buyer called me at 1, said, hey, I don't think I can make it. I'm swamped at work. I said, okay. I would much rather somebody say, hey, I can't make it, than either, number one, stand me up at the showing, or number two, just not say anything, and so I can't cancel the showing. I like to tell listing agents if I'm going to be at a property or not. I hate the idea of not going. If I say I'm going to go, even if it's like 10 minutes before and I've got to cancel, I'd rather cancel and at least let them know that I canceled, because with my listings, at least, I do kind of keep tabs on, who's in the house and when. I just think that's good security. I don't know. So what is today? We went over this right in the beginning. Today's Wednesday. I had a weird thing on one of my social media channels. I like to post new listings on those channels, and I couldn't find anything. I mean, like, the inventory is still terrible. So to me, until we get inventory like where it needs to be, it's going to still be a really, really hot market. And we're going to talk about, signs of a bubble and all that stuff later on today. But still, it's very tough out there as a buyer. And so with that, I'm going to head on into the first article. This was 20,000 searches on Google, more than normal. Emma Stone, who I don't know, won most sustainable at the Met Gala. The official theme of the 2022 Met Gala may have been gilded glamour, but it might as well have been reduce, reuse, and upcycle. Stars of all kinds wore repurposed gowns or new creations made from upcycled materials, but Emma Stone just straight up re-wore a dress from her wedding. As I have never said, if it's good enough for you, your wedding day, it's good enough for the red carpet at the Met. Wedding dresses tend to be a one and done kind of formal wear, but not for Stone, who broke out her custom Louis Vuitton wedding party dress. She wore a different gown for the ceremony. For the Met Gala on May 2nd, the mini dress, which features a feathered hem and lace straps, was specifically designed for her wedding after party per the official Louis Vuitton Instagram page. Stone married writer-director Dave McCary in 2020, and until now, her wedding looks have been kept firmly under wraps. Maybe she can show off her wedding gown at the next Met Gala. Stone's dress, which was giving decidedly flapper-era vibes, might not have been on theme. The Gilded Age ended before the Roaring '20s, but it was in sync with the whole Vuitton lineup. I said Vuitton twice. Designer Nicolas Guichard dressed a handful of stars for the event, all wearing archival or previously worn looks with a twist, per the Vuitton Instagram page. Others wearing upcycled looks from the fashion house included Gemma Chan, Phoebe Denner, Sophie Turner, and Joe Jonas, and Cynthia Erivo. Now, I don't know these first people. I feel bad. I don't know what they do. I don't know their nature of employment. But anyway, the brand's Instagram page called the choice a commitment towards circular creativity. Yeah. The theme of the Met Gala was asking for extravagance, but many opted for more sustainable, planet-friendly options. Camila Cabello's Prabal Gurung look, for example, was reportedly upcycled and sustainable, as was Billie Eilish's Gucci gown. And as gorgeous as those looks were, I say it's time to normalize repeat outfits like Stone's. I ask you, Hollywood, what's more sustainable than wearing a piece of clothing more than once, twice, thrice? I don't know. I mean, I have some sweaters that I like to wear every day. I would wear them every day if my wife let me. I have a pull-up. I wore it yesterday. That was the blue one. The day before, I wore the gray one. I only have two. And honestly, I was at a friend's house, and he was like, "Hey, man, I like that sweater." He says, "That's a nice sweater." I said, I know. And I told him, and I'll tell you and anybody else that'll listen, I love that sweater. And I have two of them, different colors. But my fear is that someday they'll be, like, I won't be able to wear them because they'll be old. They'll be, and it's not like I can go buy new ones, because if I could, I would buy like 12 of them. I would only wear those. Honestly, they are so great. They're zip up. You've seen them. I wear them pretty much, 2 times a week. They're in the rotation. But, it's very interesting. Have you seen Levi's? Like Levi's, they say that you're not supposed to wash your jeans ever. And mine get pretty skunky. I don't I like to wash them every once in a while. Now, I don't like the first day of wearing a pair of jeans. That's like after they've been washed. But 2 or 3 days into it, though, they're nice. I don't know about what the youngsters do. My eldest stepdaughter, I don't think I've seen her in a pair of jeans. Maybe the kids don't wear jeans now. I don't know, but I mean, that's the way it was when I was a kid. You wore jeans. I wear jeans now. I don't know, dad jeans because I'm old, but whatevs. Anyway, does not washing jeans help with the environment? I guess. Does wearing a dress at the Met Gala? I mean, the Met Gala, we're talking about upcycling. It's so over the top. Really? You know, all these people, they don't all live in New York. I don't fly into the Met Gala and saying how great it's just not for me. Not for me. I'd rather be listing a house or helping a buyer go find a house. Anyway, I thought it was kind of fun. I kind of like it's so far outside of like the norm for me to read about the Met Gala. I mean, nobody's invited me to that thing, and I'm okay with that. Like I don't really want to. There's certain times when I was a youngster, like when I was in my 20s, somebody had a party, I would just like to be invited. I didn't have to go. I like to be invited. But the Met Gala, I don't really want to be invited. I don't really care. I can think of a million things I'd rather do. So anyway, I don't know. Things aren't flowing today, and you know it, and I know it. So we're going to power through. That's what I do. Let's talk about one thing that happened to me yesterday that was fun. Okay. It's like I hear a noise in the house, and I was scared, but it was just the washing machine. Okay, here we go. I have an assistant. I know, it's crazy, right? Yeah, I have an assistant, and to help out, what I do is I record what I want the assistant to do. That way, you know, there's some sort of knowledge there. It's easy. She can just refer back to the video. Well, yesterday I made an hour-long video on how to post something. Okay. How to go through all the steps. And I went back and replayed it, and it didn't show the screen. So it was literally just me talking for like an hour about everything. It's like what I do here when I forget to hit a button. Like, you know, it was bad. And so I couldn't even send it to her. I'd spent an hour on it. It was depressing. Anyway, that's what that was. Let's go on to something else. Here we go. It's the Deerwood Realty website, which is looking really, really good lately. Things are going well. You can see there. All right, good. So anyway, we've got we're doing well with our dates. We've got our podcast down here. We've got our Twitter feed here. 15 hours ago, I need to post something on Twitter, but don't worry, that'll be done. Then we've got down here the current interest rates. Now, here's why I did this. You take this interest rate here, which is 5.4%. Now, when it goes down, that means it's green. Okay? So, 5.54 was yesterday's. It came down from 5.55. So if we take 300,000, down payment of 6% and an interest rate of 5, but we can do 5.55 now. What do we got? It's going to take me to a different page. Oh man, I got to get that working. It didn't work. That's embarrassing. Why did that not work? Let's just see if another number works. Always cool to see your website not working in real time. I should get all mad. Call the web. Man, it just comes up 0. Well, we got to figure that out. That's not good. Mortgage calculator's not mortgage calculating very well. Now, let's take a different number. 250. Calculate that. All right. Well, now we're gonna have to fix that. Oh man, how embarrassing. Let's see. Do I look okay? Yeah, I look okay. I'm not, the smoke isn't coming out of my ears. Okay. Anyway, whatever. 5.54%. We got to work on that. Here's a quick search if you ever want to look at quick search. Here's a contact us. You want to contact Deerwood Realty? Bam. There you go. I did want to check. I haven't been on the website in a while. Oh, buyers. Let's do that. Here's your, here's a buyer guide. Yeah. Nice. I got to talk to my friend about that. This box here, this box is great. Find your dream home. Let us know your, okay. Here's your stuff, but I don't think it's the same as the first page, is it? Let's go look. No. No, it's not. So, and I got to change this. It says giving me a call. It's giving us a call because I don't always answer the phone. Could be Jan. Could be. Probably isn't. Anyway, so 5.54%. I think that's high. I think that I think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating. 5.54%. If it goes higher, we just can't afford houses and the prices are still high. So how's that going to work? If it goes lower, it's going to start the boom all over again. And we're just going to raise the prices. It's really weird. I don't know. It's a Goldilocks scenario. I don't know. It's kind of fun. Anyway, let's get into some houses. You ever been to Baltimore? I've not. I'm just telling you right now, I haven't. It's just east. I'm from the Midwest. There's two houses here. And then these are new construction. I'll stay away from those. I'm going to go with that one next, I think. But I kind of like the design of this one. It's new. And so I kind of like that one. And I kind of like that one. So let's just start here and see what we got. Baltimore, Maryland. 50 pictures. Been on the market 335 days. I've probably seen it before. I'm not going to see it again. I'm just not interested. So let's look at this one. I think this is a beautiful house. Let's see how this looks. 216 days on the market. I think I've seen this one. We're not going to look at it. That's how simple this is going to go. Let's see. 2,995. 19 days on the market. Let's go with this one. I don't like the front picture. That's number one. I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie to you. I think you should have the front of the house. This is the first picture. 8 bedrooms, 8.5 baths, 12,000 square feet on a 1.5 acre lot for only $3 million. That's a deal, man. Built in 1926. Oh, everything about this house is just exciting to me, except for I don't know what the front of the house looks like. Let's look at the property details. Major price reposition and house refresh make this home ready for the spring market. Make this estate yours and enjoy the lifestyle this property affords all year long. I don't think so if it's got a pool and you're in Maryland. It's your opportunity to live in one of Baltimore's most coveted streets, upscale city living with a countryside vibe. It's rare that you find this kind of privacy and space in Baltimore City. With convenience to downtown, both private and public schools, airport, as well as local shopping and dining, the spectacular Georgian-style home was built in 1926 and is located on over 1.5 acres of privacy. The home has been lovingly restored throughout the years with over $5 million in additions and upgrades, while retaining the integrity, character, and style of the original home. This impressive 3-level home offers more than 12,000 square feet of finished living space, including additions, cottage, and pool house. Main house has 6 bedrooms, 5 full baths, 2 half baths, and 7 working fireplaces. The main house is connected to a 4-car garage by an exquisite covered porch with curved archways spanning the side of the home. Above the garage, you'll find a fully equipped cottage with 2 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. A stone walkway leads up to the pool house with 1 full bath, movie theater, and gym. Both the cottage and pool house are listed as 3rd level and bright. That's the MLS for Maryland, I suspect. Upon entering the home, you'll be struck by the elegance of the 12-foot ceilings, original crown moldings, and all the natural light. The spacious kitchen and family room is ideal for modern living, and the grand hallway connects you to the dining area, music room, living room, and bar library, making this home the ideal space for large or intimate gatherings. You'll find modern and functional living throughout the home. Schedule your private tour today. Last night, I got into reading things differently than I normally do. I don't know why. I've had some fun with it. So let's look at the property history. Gosh, it's been listed for years. Listed since 2020. Well, it's because you don't have the front of the house. I don't know that that's true. Is that the front? I mean, that looks like the back. There's the front. And I like the style. I like the idea of a pool house. I like the idea of a 4-car garage. I mean, I can see where the kitchen is a little bit dicey. Beautiful woodwork there. I mean, just gorgeous. So when you think Maryland, you think stuff like this crown molding. You think wainscoting. I mean, I don't know. $3 million. I can see where, but it's on an 1.5 acre lot. And I think what they're saying is, I think what people would be arguing is, oh, it's only 6,000 square feet. And the other square footage is derived from, the other places. And I understand that. But I mean, that room there is tough. Oh, man. It's a mystery. It's a mystery to me why this, I mean, some of this stuff is terrible looking, but it's not that bad for it to be on the market for that many years. I mean, like as a realtor, okay, my eye, can you see all this rot here that indicates at one point in time it was leaking? To me, I don't know if you'd notice it. I'm just going to check on the picture. Can you see? Yeah, you can see it too. That's dicey. I think that's above the garage. I don't know for a fact. I can't tell for sure. I mean, I like a pool. Everybody likes having a pool. That's 50 pictures. I'm done. Nice workout room. I'm good with that. Okay, so there's one. This says new 23 hours ago. Let's look. I mean, I don't know what's going to be perfect. 73 pictures is too many for me. I'm not going to look at that many. It's been on the market a day. It says 2-car garage, built in 1914, 6 beds, 4.5 baths, 8,700 square feet. Let's look at the property details. A little too much for me. Property history listed literally listed yesterday. So let's look. Huh? I mean, 73 pictures, like I said, a little too much for me. Logan Foster has the listing. And let's just now. So the first thing, like not as a complaint, but could we have taken this picture from the sidewalk and gotten the top of the house? Is it that way in the MLS and then realtor.com is just cutting it off? I don't know, but it does go to the curb appeal aspect of the house. I mean, there you go. Bam, you're in it. Well, I want to double check something. There's a white door, so there's a breezeway. There's the breezeway, and then there's a house, which I think is really cool. And if I ever got a house, that's what I would do. Like this. Like if I ever built a house, I would like a breezeway. I just think that's just cool. And I mean, this makes sense. Okay, you come in, think. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Get me out of this. There's the door. Okay. And so I mean, again, they're showing you how this goes. Now that's the outside. They're giving you how this is laid out. It gives you an idea that, which is the way it should be. This room, I suspect if you go in, it would be small. It would feel small. So instead of having big furniture, they have smaller things. So that makes the room look bigger. I think that's smart. This doesn't look too big. Back there, maybe we didn't need a table, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it look like there's a lot of space in these rooms. This house was built in 1914, so it's possible, I mean, a lot of times they don't think the same way as they do now about houses. So just kind of go through here. An interesting kitchen, an interesting ceiling. Nice little outdoor space. Look at that porch. That's really nice. I mean, really, I'm not being sarcastic. That is really nice. It looks like it's off of the bedroom. Nice porch swing. That's nice. And I mean, this is getting to be the spring. Things are greening up here in St. Louis. We're not 100% there yet, but it's a good time of the year. Good time of the year. And this is, like I said, this is real nice. There's your basement. I'm at 53 pictures though, and I get a little sick of pictures after that. What are we going to do? This is new from 15 hours ago. I think we almost have to look. They're asking 1.9 million, 5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, 7,000 square feet on a 1 acre lot. Let's just take a look. Okay, so this is the back of the house. I don't like that. Built in 1982, 3-car garage, 16 hours. Been on Realtor.com. Property details, too much. Too much. Not interested. And it's been listed since April 29th. Okay. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. That's twice today. So this has got 128 pictures. I'm not looking at 128 pictures. This is the front. It looks like there's this area there that just goes straight south, which, means the lot maybe not be the greatest, but let's see if we can find that out from the picture. Okay. Why aren't we taking a picture from right there? Why aren't we getting a good front of the house? Oh, now we've walked inside. Totally okay with that. I think that's the way to do it. Okay. So there's now all of a sudden we're in a room. Okay. With 128 pictures, the fear is that you're just going to show me the same picture over and over. Like this is the stuff that I don't need. Okay. So there's a piano. All right. Okay, good. Now there's another piano. Okay. And now there's another piano. It's like, I don't need 3 pictures of the piano. I don't play piano. I actually do, or did. Right now, I don't think I could do very well. I probably could be okay, but not where I need to be. That's an interesting look. Nice size kitchen, right? Good size. I love the solid surface countertops, and I like the way this looks. I like it how it goes together. I really do. Very clean looking. Worried about stains, of course. And as I've gotten older, I think I would like a sink. I think I would like a faucet and a sink in the center versus where we have it, which is against a wall. Why? Well, when it gets cold outside, it'd be nice to be. But this is just my thought. It's, it'd be hard in my house because you have to move the sewer line, the drain line, and from where I'd want to put it to where it would go is It just would cause trouble. Scratch that idea. We're at 53 pictures, 54. We're looking at the same bedroom. I'm out. And then one more. I really want to look at this house. Right here. It looks cool. But it's not that big. Let's look at this house. No, let's look at this house. It's a little different. So $1,195,000. 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. 19 days on the market, built in 1910. I mean, I just like the way it looks. Interesting that they did to me, it's interesting that they did the floor plan here. If this is the way I think it is, it's pretty interesting. Look, they kind of got a hallway, but then they got these 2 rooms over here, but a lot of space here. Don't see that very often. Kitchen's kind of small. I say that because of the way they took this picture, but there could be some more. See how that's a built out, and you can't really get a good picture of it. Look at that, 2 sinks. One for, I guess, one for your vegetables and whatnot, and one for your. That seems like a little bit much, but whatever. Whatevs. Oh, look at all that. Electronics. Oh, interesting. So what they're doing is they're showing the floor plan, and then they're like, okay, now you're going to see everything in the pictures. That's really, really nicely done. I wouldn't do it that way. I would just put the floor plan at the end. Because if I really care about this house, it's not the first time I'm going to look at these pictures. I'm probably going to look at these pictures, 30, 40 times. All right. That's the top floor. But I'm done. After 50 pictures, I'm done. I'm not interested. Sorry. All right. I have all kinds of email just coming at me. Let's get into some articles. Let's get into some articles. First article is about, is there a housing bubble? Let's look at it. And then the housing bubble, is that because of affordability? I thought that was an interesting way to look at it. So here we go. This is in Fortune. Okay, it says a bit of 2008 deja vu. The housing market hits a level that's not seen since the last bubble. You'd be hard pressed to find housing economists proclaiming that the ongoing housing boom is nearing a 2008 type bust. In fact, many say the opposite, based on the belief that the demographic wave of millennial first-time homebuyers, elevated wage growth, and limited supply all will continue pushing the market upwards. Every major real estate firm with a publicly available forecast, including CoreLogic and Fannie Mae, predicts that home prices will go even higher over the coming year. That said, A red-hot U.S. housing market is beginning to hit levels not seen since our last housing bubble. Black Knight, a mortgage technology and data provider, showed Fortune an analysis on Friday that finds the typical American household will now have to spend 31% of their monthly income to make a mortgage payment on the average priced U.S. home. That's up from 29% just 1 week earlier and up from 24% in December. Black Knight's mortgage payment to income ratio, which averaged 19.9% during the 2010s decade, hasn't topped 31% since September of 2007. What's going on? The economic shock caused by soaring mortgage rates over the past few weeks has dramatically increased mortgage payments for new home buyers. Yes, I've seen that. I feel like I've seen that. I feel like I've seen that in that houses are coming back to market, because I think what happened is people had their loan pre-approvals for like 2.5%, and when it jumped to 5.5%, they were like, "Well, that's double my house payment. I can't afford that." But they didn't, I had my lenders that I work with call each one of my clients and say, "Here's where the rates are now. There's been a significant shift. Here's what it's going to cost you now versus what it cost you before." That's what I did, because I didn't want to deal with this. Back in December, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate stood at 3.11%. A borrower taking on a $500,000 mortgage would, at that rate, would owe $2,138 per month. Now that the average rate is 5%, that loan, if issued today, would cost $2,684 a month. Over the course of the 30-year loan, that's an additional $196,700. In March, a team of researchers at the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas got the attention of the real estate industry after publishing a paper titled "Real-Time Market Monitoring Finds Signs of Brewing U.S. Housing Bubble." They found that the recent U.S. home price growth, which is up 19.2% over the past 12 months, is once again becoming unhinged from economic fundamentals. However, the Dallas Fed researchers don't see this as a 2008 repeat. Sure, many new home buyers are getting stretched financially in a way that resembles buyers during the last bubble, but that's just new home buyers. If you look broadly at homeowners, they're still doing quite well. As of the fourth quarter of 2021, only 3.8% of U.S. disposable personal income was going towards mortgage debt payment. At the height of the 2000s housing bubble, that figure was nearly double at 7.2%. This time around, households' balance sheet look healthier, and more homeowners have paid off their mortgage altogether. In addition, the shady lending practices of the aughts were regulated out of the market by 2010 Dodd-Frank Act. Simply put, if a storm does come, homeowners in theory should be better positioned to ride it out. Based on present evidence, there's no expectation that fallout from a housing correction would be comparable to the 2007-2009 global financial crisis in terms of magnitude or macroeconomic gravity. Among other things, household balance sheets appear to be in better shape, and excessive borrowing doesn't appear to be fueling the housing market boom, right? The Dallas Fed researchers. It's possible the affordability crunch created by soaring mortgage rates could be a good thing. That's according to Logan Motsahami, lead analyst at HousingWire. Spiking mortgage rates, he said, could take some steam out of the market and give an inventory a chance to rise a bit. If that happens, it could slow down the rate of home price appreciation, reduce the likelihood of the red-hot housing market culminating in an overheated market, or even worse, a housing bust. Do you not think it's already overheated? Higher mortgage rates are the best thing for housing because we're in a savagely unhealthy housing market, and we need to get off these extreme low levels of inventory. It isn't too much or bad credit chasing homes this time around. It's too many people chasing too few homes. We desperately need a breather. According to Redfin, spiking mortgage rates are already softening the housing market a bit. The brokerage platform is seeing slightly more home listings with price cuts and fewer bookings for home showings. However, we'll need to wait a few weeks or months before we can be sure that the housing market is actually softening. Well, here's the thing, and I want to be fair about this, okay? You come to me for information, and I don't know the answers all the time. I don't. I can't tell you if there's going to be a housing market crash. I have no idea, okay? But I read, and I go in the marketplace, and I'll know when it does crash, if it does, because I'll be able to have all the buyers that have wanted to buy a house with me for the past, 6 months to a year. We'll be able to, write contracts and get offers accepted. But we see like a diversity in the coverage. We see that house prices we see that there could be a bubble, and then we see that there's not a bubble. And this is going to continue like the rest of our lives. Who knows? You know, that's the issue I have is like, we don't know. We won't ever have any idea until it happens, and then we'll know it happened. So anyway, that was that. Now, let me go with one other article for the day. The worst parts of buying a house. I thought that was kind of fun. What are the worst parts of buying a house? I'd like to know. I mean, I have my ideas. It's normal to romanticize about buying a house. It's one of the biggest things you do in life, and you may have dreamed of the time when you could become a homeowner. Got to write something down. While there's a lot to be said for the upsides of purchasing a home, that doesn't mean it's not a tough process. Particularly in the current market, buying a house can be frustrating and demoralizing. Sometimes knowing how to prepare yourself for letdowns and challenges can help you make a smarter decision overall. According to home buyers, the following are the worst parts of the process with that in mind. Dealing with high prices. Yes, I think that's true. Home prices are at historic highs right now. Certain markets are more affected than others, but almost across the board, this is true. There are many reasons for the high prices, from inflation and supply chain issues to low inventory. It's tough because what someone could have afforded in the market that existed just a few days ago or a few years ago isn't today's reality. That's true. I mean, I'm looking at houses, 2-bedroom houses, less than 1,000 square feet, not great parts of town, not like where people just have to live. Easily over $200,000. Kind of makes me sick. I mean, your starter home's just gone. Doesn't even exist. Avoid overbuying in line with the high prices buyers are facing universally right now. You have to make sure that you're not overbuying. What happens to many people when they buy a home, particularly if it's their first time, is that they let emotion take over. You might have gone into the process with a clear budget, determined to stick to it. Then you get into the heated, competitive marketplace and fall in love with a home out of your budget. You might develop an emotional attachment to that home, and you could spend either more than you can afford or more than it's worth. Keeping your emotions in check is one of the most difficult parts of buying a home for a lot of people. You have to remind yourself repeatedly to stick with the facts rather than emotions. Being in a bidding wars are everywhere right now, as you might realize. Some people put in a full ask, all cash offer for a home and are promptly outbid. It's such a competitive marketplace, and emotional component can again come into play. If you're in a bidding war, it's easier to get caught up in what's going on at the moment and pay more than you should. You might theoretically be the winner, but you could be the loser because you're paying more than the house is worth. I just need to check something real quick. Okay, good. I did it. I didn't switch over. That's what I was checking on. There. Sorry. I have to go back and see where I messed up. I feel bad for you out there. You're like, hey, I wanted to go read the article too, and now I can't see it. There can be significant financial consequences of overpaying for a property, no matter what the market is like right now. Mortgage lenders only give loans based on the property's actual value, not what you want to pay. Even if you bid the price up, that doesn't mean that that's the loan you're getting. At the same time, if you keep getting outbid, it can also make you feel frustrated, like you're never going to find a home. Plus, if you're renting, you're continuing to put money towards that. The paperwork that comes with a mortgage and buying a home is challenging. Just how complex and burdensome the paperwork is can vary depending on the type of loan you're trying to get and the financial situation. If you're self-employed, you're probably going to find the loan process is the worst part of buying a house. You have to show years of bank statements and tax returns. As you wait to finalize your loan, you might feel anxious about everything. Your loan might not even be finalized until a few days before closing, and there's uncertainty as you feel like you're in limbo. While there are certainly downsides that come with buying a house, the reward will be worth the sacrifice if you take your time and make a good financial choice. Now, this is very interesting. And let's just now I'll be out of it. I'll start here for a minute. All the things listed in this article are not things that I would have thought of when talking about the worst parts of buying a house. And you say, well, what do you mean? Well, the worst part of buying a house to me is making that decision to buy a house. And actually, when you're sitting there, you don't know, first of all, so let's say you're a first-time home buyer, you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so you can't communicate to the agent, hey, This is what we want. I mean, you think you know, but you're not sure. And the other thing is, like, what we're seeing a lot of times is buyer's remorse. So to me, that would be the worst part of buying a home. That would be the worst thing ever. It's like, oh my God, I just bought a house and I hate it. The other worst parts of buying a home, like decorating it. For me, you have to spend money, and furniture ain't cheap. Let's say also like the design. So let's say you want to change the color of the walls. Let's say you want to do a remodel of the kitchen or the bathroom. Let's say you need a new roof. You have to hire someone and you have to hope that they do a good job. Those are the worst parts of buying a house to me. And the not knowing, like, so you go and you see this house and you think you like it, and your partner says they think they like it, and you're like, well, I guess we should put an offer on it, but you never know. And then you actually get the house, and now you walk through it before closing, and you're like, I don't really like this house. I don't really know what we just did. To me, that's the problem. I mean, that's the worst part about buying a house. This concern about regretting the payment or regretting what you did. Am I the only one that thinks that way? And moving? You ever moved? It's terrible. I hate it. I mean, I hate moving. Somebody says, hey, John, will you help me move? Yes, I will help you because I'm dumb. I will do it, but I don't want to. I'll just do it because we're friends. Most people that aren't my friends don't ask me to help move because they know how miserable it is. And also, the one thing that I don't like is somebody said, well, I'll get you a 12-pack and you can help me move. I don't want a 12-pack when I'm moving. I don't. I just want to be done. I just want to get the furniture out. I had a really good friend that's not my friend right now because he doesn't, I think, because I asked him to help me move too many times. So, and putting all the utilities in it. Have you called a utility company to get your name in there? Oh, it's terrible. It takes hours. So the worst parts of buying a home for me are not the worst parts of buying a home for the writer of the article. I think that's fascinating. So what have we learned? What have we learned today? Well, I kind of like the style and the architecture of the homes that are for sale currently, the luxury homes for sale in Maryland. I thought those were pretty nice. Baltimore, Maryland, I thought those houses looked pretty cool. We learned that it could be a bubble. It may not be a bubble. We don't really know if it's a bubble, but we don't think it's a bubble. We think that the higher rates of higher mortgage rates should help kind of calm the market down a little bit. That's what they say. I don't know. Being in it, I mean, I just go to houses and it's just either they're too expensive or they just need work or they're just not the right house. Seems the inventory is the problem, and I don't know how you get more inventory on the market. I mean, think about it. If you're a seller right now or thinking about selling and you know that the market is fantastic, and perhaps you're downsizing, perhaps you're moving to a home or something, well then, gosh, sell now, right? That's not enough, though, to keep the inventory high. You've got to have people that are able to move from house to house. I'm of the opinion that the biggest problem that I'm seeing is I have people that would sell their house tomorrow if they could buy a house that was comparable to their house or better for less than the money that they have to sell their house for. But that doesn't happen very often, ever. In fact, once you got to buy a house, you're kind of stuck with it, right? Anyway, and then we learned the bad parts of moving, and they're the worst parts of moving, and those aren't the same worst parts of moving than I think of. So I thought that was kind of fascinating. I mean, what are the odds that we'd be totally in disagreement on an article? So, well, I don't want to kill time. I really don't. I got things to do. You've got things to do today. Go out there, make it a day. Go out there and really, really attack. I am going to do a bunch of stuff myself. You should probably see me online a few times. I am going to I'm going to head out. So thank you for watching. I'll be here tomorrow at 9. Come and hang out, come and chat with me, and we'll go from there.